Have you ever seen a band that has been playing and you hear the guitars that are extremely out of tune and it's just reeking to the ear? Well, one might think, oh, he probably doesn't notice it. But what a lot of people don't realize is it has a lot to do with stringing and tuning of your guitar. If you don't tune it properly, it'll go out of tune in a heartbeat. I'm going to talk to you today about how to string a guitar and all the different things you need and all the different strings there are that you can use on a guitar. Let's talk about the type of strings there are. There's the nickel that you mainly use for electric guitar. And they're very stretchy, they're not as thick, and they're just really thin. There's the brass strings. They're more thick, they're kind of gritty, they have a really good acoustic sound. And there's also nylon strings. They're for more classical guitar. It's kind of like an acoustic, but it's just for more smooth and more hand tapping playing. And the gauges of strings. If you're a real heavy player, you want to play with really light strings so they're really flexible and can handle all the heaviness of your playing. If you're really light, you want to take a heavier string so you can get all the sound out of them that you want. There are many different brand names. There's Elixir, Ernie Ball, and Martin, just to name a few. But I prefer the Ernie Ball Slinky set because they are the stretchiest, and I use an extra light because I probably play extra heavy. But I'm going to show you how to string a guitar, or at least my way of stringing a guitar, best way of staying in tune. You take the string out of its package, unravel it, and there's these little notches on the very end where the strings fit through. You push it in there. If I can get it in there. And you run it through all the way, and then it sets in a little slot right there. And up here there's a stud that you put it in. It's got a little hole. You just slide it right in there. You pull it kind of tight, leave some slack, and bend the tip of the string upwards so that it's out of the way. You're going to want to press down on the string so when you're raveling it doesn't knot up and it'll cause it to go out of tune. And you just start tuning it. You start, whoops, wrong way. You go, it's going to take a little bit. Go around, keep it pressed down, make sure that the string goes under the one that is pulled up. Keep going. Might take a little bit, that's why I have this little fast thing. A little bit slower. Make sure it's on the right spot. Get it in all the notches, make sure that it's all in there good. Keep tuning it until there's a little bit of tension there. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bend the string and tune it to whatever key you're playing in. You just stretch it just to make sure that all the slack's out, and then lay it back down, cut the little excess string off, and you're done. It's not very hard to string a guitar, but most people make this mistake of just throwing a string on there and it ends up being out of tune later on a show, and they're like, why does my guitar go out of tune? Well, if you string it properly and you use the right strings, you can have a pretty good sounding guitar and it'll stay in tune.
Do it Bryce's way.
Do it Bryce's way. That's pretty good.
How long did you last, man?